through all these kind of protests. But it's because we had to bring in so many federal resources just to provide security for our own folks. But if you look at the worst of the worst, and you look what DHS put out with some of those cases, we've had so many rapists, murderers that were roaming free and hiding in plain sight in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. We would hope that elected officials and the public would be thanking ICE for taking them out of communities, but instead we have, incidents like you're seeing on the screen right there.
Yeah. I want to show a couple of things that are getting a lot of attention. This first video is ICE agents pulling a woman out of a car in Minneapolis. I read a piece this morning about her, that she is an activist, but clearly this kind of video is the sort of thing that, gets people riled up. They may not know all the details around it. What do you say about this video?
Martha, you just said it perfectly right there. There's so much of that video that no one else has seen, unfortunately, right? And it doesn't show what she...
Can you tell us what else happened here that provoked this exchange?
Well, without getting too specific, since the fact that we do have criminal charges on that individual, you have somebody that's driving into a scene, you're driving into a law enforcement situation after being warned not to do that, coming at officers, blocking in vehicles. Then when she's told to get out of the car, she doesn't, and she resists at that point. And unfortunately, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but when you have elected officials that are saying, go out and do this, go out and impede ICE, go out and protect your neighbor, and they're doing it like this is what happens and leads to it. And unfortunately, these videos come up and there's only one side to it. And we're constantly having to go on the defense. But the men and women of ICE are professional. They're professional law enforcement officers. That's what they're out there doing every day. And again, at the end of the day, we have to make sure our men and women of ICE and all law enforcement go home safe every night.
So this is another video. Some ICE agents walking in the front door of a Mexican restaurant is what is reported here in St. Paul. They get screamed at, and then they go out the back door. Just watch this. When I watch this, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. They have masks on. Are they there to apprehend someone? Are they there because there's a target in that restaurant? Can you explain this?
So in those situations, Martha, it's twofold, right? So we do have Homeland Security investigations, special agents that are on the ground, and they're also investigating potential worksite enforcement situations where we've received tips or we have known